Hey crafters, it's Leo with Dreaming Tree, and today we're making a sweet little harvest mug wrap. It's perfect for dressing up a mug that you plan on gifting. Now, we've added some maple leaves, oak leaves, and a bright sunflower, but you can easily make it your own by swapping the autumn papers for, say, birthday or Christmas papers, and you can even add flowers from some of our other 3D projects. It's designed to fit a standard mug, 12 ounces, but since mugs come in all shapes and sizes these days, you can resize it to fit it just right. Let's get started. All right, so we're gonna start off by just taking these two sections and gluing them together. Now, what I want you to do, there's one section that has these little tabs and one that doesn't. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take this one and glue it inside like this. Okay, so what I want you to do is just flip this over and apply your glue. Mine already dried out. I literally just cleaned it off. This is the texture side here, and that's okay. That's what we want. Let's go ahead and throw a little bit of glue on there. And this not only joins these two sections together, but also makes the base of this a little bit stronger. Make sure that you get it nice and centered and that this side and these sides all come in nicely. And then just press that down, okay? And then what we're gonna do, while this thing is still flat, we're gonna put our panels on now. Okay, so we have it, essentially it doesn't matter which side is the front or back. We just need to apply our little panels. I found this really nice plaid design, this pattern paper from Cartabella that I cut out a few different options, and I think this one was my favorite with this, I think this is red wine. I don't know that we've used this color very much. I really like it. Some red wine sounds good right about now. All right, so you get the idea here. We're just gonna add our panels. This one's pretty straightforward, and as I mentioned in my intro, you can very easily adapt this to another occasion. Of course, we've given you some beautiful flowers to use if you're gifting it in the fall, but you can easily just omit those files and you can go back to our collection of flowers from other bundles and incorporate those. We have some beautiful poinsettias for winter or Christmas that you can use. Now for these, just make sure that when you're applying them, you're keeping a nice even border all the way around. A little bit of that base, the main structure, should be visible. And I wanted this to blend very nicely as far as the structure and the paper. So I hit it with a little bit of black ink. I think I started with a dark red and it just wasn't doing anything for me. Brown was kind of working. I just went with the black with this paper. And it worked nicely. Looks like it blends very nicely. Okay, and then we have one over here. And then we have panels for the other side as well. Same thing we did on the first side. And then of course the top there has two holes for some ribbon, and that's what's gonna keep it nice and closed. So I'm using a standard 12 ounce mug. But again, if you need to make it bigger, it's an SVG file, so you can easily do so. I would say I went to, where did I go? I went to Home Goods looking for a mug, and I bought one, and it's definitely more than 12 ounces. So it's not going to fit in this unless I resize it. So I'm just going to put the 12 ounce mug in here. But again, SVG files, the beauty of them are they are scalable vector graphics, meaning you can increase or decrease them without losing any quality. A lot of you have downsized or increased things in the past. And again, that's the beauty of it. All right, so we've got one more to go here. And then we're just gonna put together some simple flowers. And this will be a super quick little project. What a beautiful way to give a mug. Seems like a very popular gift as well. So now you have two options here. We have to glue this in place in just a second here. We have two options here. We can either put this piece inside, so we have a decorative touch inside, since you're not really going to see the bottom, or you can put it on the bottom. It's up to you. Like I said, I think it would be nice just to put it inside, because no one's really going to be looking at the bottom. And then this way also gives that bottom piece 3 layers of sturdiness instead of just 2. Leave a nice little border around there as well. Here we go. That's nice. And then we'll go ahead and we're going to apply glue to these tabs here and start closing this up to form the wrap. Okay, bring that in, line it up, and press and hold, like so. And we'll go to the other side here. Just kind of dab that, spread it out. Line that up. I love Cartabella paper for its thickness and texture. It has a unique texture in the industry. I don't even know what you would call it, but I really love their paper. I'm glad they're still around. Okay, we'll go to the other side here and bring this in, press and hold. So this is good and sturdy. Okay, and the last one, might want to, just to err on the side of caution, if you can get your glue nozzle in there, by all means, feel free. I'm going to just be safe here and throw a little bit of glue on a scrap piece of paper and actually just paint that onto that tab so that I don't pull this apart on accident. And we'll get that last one joined. There we go, nice and sturdy. Beautiful, okay. Let me grab my mug so I can show you kind of how it all works. Now, you'll notice one side here has a little cutout for the handle. That's the side you want to put the handle on. So that fits in there beautifully, closes nicely, and you'll take some ribbon, run it through there, just tie a little bow. That looks really cute, actually. But again, we do have, you can use that as is if you'd like, but we do have some additional little elements to really pretty it up, and we're going to walk through that assembly. Super simple, not a big deal at all. I have my maple leaves here that I did ink with a little bit of purple, and definitely take a little dowel and just grab the tips of these and just kind of flare them out a little bit, give this leaf a little bit of life. Careful not to rip it. There we go, just like that. Next, we'll take our oak leaves, and you can see there's a square in the center of this. You would just want to line that up with the previous layer. And I'm going to take and curl each of the little sections of this oak leaf either towards me or away from me, just to let those shadows and highlights kind of play with the paper a little bit, bring it to life, make it a little more interesting. You can take and apply your glue to this little circle, and just take this, you want the oak leaves pointing down. Just line that up nicely. Make sure that square looks squared. If it's off a tad, it's okay. There we go. Then we have this little layer here. It's pretty delicate, so if anything, I would just use my fingers to sort of curl it towards you a little bit. And you want those pointing down. Okay, they're slightly curved, and they'll either go up or down depending on your orientation. Let's pop that right on there, like so. That looks nice. Then we have a little sunflower, and I did ink this on the mat like I did with the little chrysanthemums that we just released, And I'll take and place the tip of each petal between my finger and the dowel and curl that towards me to bring those petals to life a little bit so they're not so flat. Okay. So we're going to take and match up the square in the center, and by doing so it'll automatically offset the petals to make everything look nice and full. So let's go ahead and throw some glue on one of the first layers here. And let's match up the squares like so. And you can flare these out a little bit more once you get it in place. Make it super full looking. I love all the little details on each petal as well with the extra cuts. That looks cool. And then finally we have this little guy, and this one has a series of little cuts that you can take and you can flare those up if you want, just to kind of give those a little more dimension as well. Pretty small little pieces. Okay, I'm not really going to set up too much. And throw some glue on there, match up the square. And there's one more final little piece that we'll put in the center. Now this black piece, I actually ran this through an embossing folder to give it the little dots. And then for the first time in a long time, I used some chalk inks and just kind of ran them across the embossed portion to give those little details there. A dye ink typically won't do much on a dark piece of paper, which is why I went with the chalk ink, and that sunflower looks really cool. So now we just need to pop that right in the center of this. Hopefully, I should have lined that up layer by layer, but that's fine. You can always flip it around. And look at that. That looks really nice. Okay. And you can just kind of foam square that. I use a foam square. You can hot glue it if you want. Foam square will work as well. Take that, throw a little foam square on the back of this. And I would put this right about, you want to make room, you want to leave some room for the ribbon, obviously. So I would go as low as you can right on that little section there. Make sure it's centered, obviously. I'm going to do it like this so I can see where my foam square is. There we go, just like that. And we'll throw a little ribbon on there and call it a day. So, but I think that's super cute. Look at that. What a nice way to give a little gift. But, oh, and also there's a little acorn that we've included. It's a little tag. You can either write the person's name on the back or the front, you know, get a little twine or whatnot to connect that to maybe the handle. If you want to add that little tag, that's fine. You don't have to. Just thought it was a nice little touch. There's a hole at the top that you can slide the string through. And they'll just kind of be hanging off the side right there. And that's going to do it. So anyway, that's it. Super quick, but lovely. And again, don't forget that you can use the main structure for other occasions. And we have so many different flowers to choose from. You can go back through our inventory and maybe, like I said, there's a poinsettia that would work nicely for Christmas and so on and so forth. You get the idea. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. If you make anything from our recent bundle that we just released, I'd love to see that as well. So head over to Facebook, do a search for Dreaming Tree Official, or you can also find me over at the Papercraft Clubhouse on Creative Fabrica. So that's going to do it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And as always, I look forward to crafting with you again.